Hi everyone. If you're new here, this is On the Floor with Liliosaurus, and I'm your host, Liliosaurus. So, with that being said, I feel like I went a little bit too hard on my makeup today on accident, so we're just gonna ignore that, because obviously this is not my winter shade. If you've been following and you know about what happened with my car and how I got into a car accident the other day, guess what freaking car the rental company gave me? I'm getting to drive around in a 2023 Dodge Charger right now, and I'm so happy with it. I'm like taking it in, soaking it in, living it all up. This might be a new dream car for me. Like, I am just so grateful. Like, I don't care if people are like, it's just a Charger or something, whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't think anybody would say that, but I don't really know cars that well. But I do know I like sexy looking cars, and not many people get to drive one. So I'm just feeling so grateful for it. But now I'm definitely like on the hunt on, I gotta figure out a way to make this car mine and keep it within my life, because I would not get these upgrades if I didn't deserve them. So what had happened was I finally got the chance to bring in my rental, or bring in my car to get it fixed, right? I brought it into the shop, and the rental car people came and picked me up and stuff, and he was talking with me, and he was saying how I guess he picked me up in a Nissan Altima, and he was like, okay, this is just the car that I'm going to give you anyway, like blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, cool. So we go back, he drives us over to the actual location of so that we can like do the paperwork and all this other stuff, and then he's like looking it up, and he's like, oh, this car's actually on hold, I'm just gonna put you in a Charger instead. And I start smiling and laughing to myself so hard. He's like, you don't seem too mad about this. I'm like, no, not at all. This is so funny to me. And I just was so grateful for it. And literally, like, I was talking with him, I'm like, everything always works out for me, because everything does. Everything always works out for me. I've been really trying to implement that one in the back of my head like crazy lately. But either which way, just to get you all caught up on that. But why I brought you all here today is, let me show you what I wrote. Look at this. Look at what I wrote. My handwriting's also so messy because I wrote it in the middle of the night, like without any lights on or anything. And look at the time. If you didn't know, my birthday is 11/17, November 17th. Isn't that crazy? I had no idea that's what time it was, and I was like, you're kidding. It says the band-aid's always gonna hurt, so you gotta just rip it off. But it's true. So let me tell you, basically the other day, my son had his 4th birthday. He's 4 years old. Shout out to my baby. And like the great parents we are, we take him to his doctor's appointments, but his doctor's appointment just so happened to be on his birthday, which really ended up being fine. It gave us something to do, but I also felt so bad because I had no idea that this dude was about to get so many shots on his birthday, and they had to do so many tests on him, and it's like, ugh, I felt so bad. It's been like a good over a week now, and he still has like the band-aid and stuff on him. And is it good what I did? Probably not, you know, but I'm learning as a human, and I'm learning as a parent, and I don't know, I just really wanted to just like get those suckers off, because it's like when somebody else does it for you, they're able to do it for a quick second and rip them off, right? But when you do it, you sit there and you start to like pull at it slowly, because like I've mentioned previously, I'm pretty sure I deal with shingles, so every so often I have to have like giant band-aids on me, right? Like, I think they're like 2" by 2" thick or something like that. And it sounds small. I feel like they're actually 4 by 4, but then that sounds too big. I don't know, but they're relatively decent sized bandages. Like, they kind of look like that. So I have to wear those on my leg every so often to keep up with it. You gotta change it, because I was thinking about how, like, even still to this day, like, they hurt. A band-aid, no matter what, it's never not going to hurt. It doesn't matter if you're 75 years old, 25 years old, or even 5 years old. It's going to hurt regardless. It's sticky, it's protecting your skin. It doesn't really come off unless you're like rubbing it with water, like doing all these other things to try and make it come off easier. And at the end of the day, all you gotta do is just rip that sucker off. It hurts for like a second, and then it's fine. And it's all done. Now, how do I make this the lesson? There's so many different ways that you can look at that. For instance, I was talking with my grandmother the other night, and we were having a little bit of a discussion on like the different ways that we clean, because I clean differently than my grandmother, my grandfather cleans differently than her, and I clean differently than him, and like all this other stuff. But obviously, all being together, we need to find some sort of like coexistence, right? She was bringing up the fact that when I put my dishes in the sink, I like to leave them to come back to them later, and most of the reason why I do that is because like I just use a plate for a quick second, and to me it's like it's not dirty enough to like go in the dishwasher or something, and it's like I'm just like I'll come back to it to just scrub it later. I do like a breakfast, lunch, and dinner reset kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like after breakfast, I'll do the dishes that I use, and after lunch, I'll do the dishes that I use, and then during dinner, I'll clean up the dishes that I use. Whereas for the two of them, they'll either just use the dish, put it straight in the dishwasher, or just straight and clean it. That is something where for me to learn where they're coming from, and I'm open to learning where they're coming from, right? I'm taking it as constructive criticism. I have to just rip the band-aid off and not think about it and just wash this as soon as I'm done, or I'm done with this, let me put it in the dishwasher as soon as I'm like finished. Like the one touch rule I've heard is very good for people who have ADHD, and again, I don't know, I haven't been diagnosed with anything for sure, but I can imagine it's very helpful. And you know, you don't have to be diagnosed with anything to use certain like tactics and different ways to like make your life easier. If it helps you, then it helps you. Why not? I mean, I suppose I can just make this a short video, because I forget that sometimes I can just, maybe things are just better said in just a quick short burst, because whatever you constantly overthink to yourself, it's much better to just like rip it off, get it done, do what you need to do, and it'll pay off in the end. Then that's all I've got for this one, guys. Let me know if you want to hear anything else from me in the comments. Let me know if you like this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future videos, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.